One, this is Dean Quabus, Dr. C, coming to you from Springfield, Missouri. Well, this is my second video, and today I'm going to update you on a few new things from Missouri with regard to the COVID-19 virus. A few things have happened in the last couple of days. First thing, the state governor imposed a more strict requirement of stay-at-home order for the entire state. So, to make a long story short, everybody stay home. Although that's been active here in Springfield, Missouri, where I am, for several weeks now, at least two weeks or so. Anyway, I want to show you a very interesting thing here. I know you'll all be shocked by this. But before I do that, I'll just tell you exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you projections for the future in terms of the next couple of months. Two different projections, which are very different. And I'll also show you, again, some of my predictions in terms of the short-term predictions the next couple of days in terms of cases and deaths in Missouri. And we'll see how that goes, how my forecasts of last week did compared to actuals. And then I'll show you some forecasts for the coming week. Okay, so let's take a look at what we got here. What we have here on this particular page right here is this is last week's deaths per day prediction from the COVID-19.healthdata.org site. And they were reported by Dr. Fauci there, Fauci, or however you pronounce it, to be in line with his government predictions. What's the point? The point here is they predicted 45 days from now things are going to max out. They did this prediction, and I showed it to you in my last video. They showed this prediction 45 days from now, a couple of days ago. Wait a second. Let's take a look at some deaths. Here we go. Deaths. Last week they predicted, when it's all said and done, most probable about 1,400 or so deaths, something like that. Or 1,200, I'm sorry, about 1,300 deaths, all said and done. Anywhere from 400 to 3,000. Okay, we'll say that again. Last week, a couple of days ago, anywhere from 300 to upwards to 3,000 people possibly dead. Most probable 1,300. Oh my goodness. Well, guess what? Totally different story now. Let's take a look at that. As of the 5th, which was yesterday, April 6th, we have a stay-at-home order starting today, coming from the state. Look at the difference in the projections here. Right here, we'll take a look at deaths per day. Holy moly, now we predict only 12 deaths per day, and the max, I'm sorry, that it will project, it'll max out in 12 days instead of 45 days. Holy moly. 12 days instead of 45 days. That means it should be all said and done within 2 weeks. Totally different story, totally different prediction. Notice the error bars here are all over the place, but again, I tell you, I don't trust I don't trust predictions or forecasts that make that big of a change just from one simple change, and that is the institution of this stay-at-home order right there. Again, I don't, it's hard to say. These things are really hard to predict as you get further out. All right, what about total deaths? The newest prediction is only what? 352 total deaths in the entire state of Missouri. Again, the range is between what? 300 and 500. So they're pretty confident that only 400 or so people are going to die in the entire Missouri. I hope that's the case. That would be great. Again, this model changed from last week simply because I can almost guarantee it's because of this, again, stay-at-home order. So that's the story with regard to long-term forecasting. All right, now we're going to move on. Oh, actually, let's take a look at one other estimate from a completely different group. See what they say. All right, here we go. This is the COVID Act Now group and the COVIDActNow.org group. And what do they say? They show here, the more interesting thing here really is, again, they show that it's going to take till June to max out in terms of hospital utilization and what have you. So they're still here's today, right here. So they're still projecting that things are not going to be maximally bad until, again, middle of June or end of June, towards the end of June. The red here we can ignore because, again, that's limited action. That's if we did absolutely nothing in Missouri. But I got to tell you, from what I've been seeing in terms of younger people's behavior, who knows? We might follow this curve. I don't know. But anyway, the real take-home message here from this other group is what? That if we have 3 months of stay-at-home strict compliance, we should still see 6,000 deaths. And 12% of the people in the state will ultimately be infected at one point or another. If we do only poor compliance of 3 months stay at home in Missouri, there should be 25,000 deaths. Now, wait a minute. One model said, what was it? About 300, 400 deaths. We just looked at it. This one says anywhere from 6,000 to 25,000. I don't know. We'll see who's actually right, ultimately. But again, it just goes to show you how hard this stuff is to predict. It makes too many darn assumptions. That's why I like short-term forecasting. So we're going to get rid of this and take a look at some of my short-term forecasting and see how it behaved. So let's take first a look at right here, my short-term forecasting with regard to Missouri's. Oop, that's not showing at the top, so I'm gonna unzoom it here. Let me go back and then I'll just do this. Okay, so to make a long story short, this is my predictions I did a couple of days ago. And as we can see, what actually happened over the past 3-4 days is not that bad. It's actually, in terms of deaths, it's in line with what I predicted. No question, deaths are still going up. This is what actually happened, and red dots here, or the red dotted line, is my, with the squares, is my predictions from last week. So I have to say, no question that the deaths are still going up. But again, this is using exponentially smoothed forecasting. And again, I can only go out about 3-4 days. But at least it gives us an idea, and the model seems to be holding up. What about the actual cases reported? Again, this is deaths, what we're talking, total deaths here. Again, I forgot to write that actually. This is the total deaths, not deaths per day. Okay, next, very quickly, we'll take a look at the number of cases that I predicted last week. So number of cases I predicted last week should follow the red squares here. This is what actually happened. Okay, we see a curving off here in those 3 days. Now, I have to tell you, I did a little bit further digging. I said, wait a minute, this has happened twice. We saw it right here, a dip in what was expected, and then a fairly quick rise again after these 2 data points right here. And my model predicts that things should be higher. Guess what? These 2 regions right here, right there, and right there are actually weekends. Those are on the weekend. So guess what? That might in fact be real, in the sense that might be the reason for the difference. Maybe we didn't report as many people on the weekend because there weren't as many people working on the weekend. I have no idea, but these 2, interestingly, these 2 areas right here and right there where we see the most error in my predictions versus the actual data is on the weekends. So what do I think? I think that things should still be going up. Now again, maybe not as far up as here. Yeah, we'll see. So now let's take a look at my forecasts for the next couple of days. So, my forecasts for the next couple of days show the following. Here we go. This is the total deaths in Missouri for the next couple of days. The blue is the actual data. And the red here is what we expect to see. Again, my forecast says we should see almost about 75 deaths by the 9th. And I think the 9th is a Thursday. 75 deaths. So about double from what we see here, which was, in fact, yesterday, Sunday. The last data point we have is 35, maybe 75. So we're talking about possibly doubling this week. Again, that's what the model says, and we shall see how that goes. So next, it will be the cases. So in terms of case numbers, that was a little bit harder to model because things seemed to, again, be a little weird. Again, it's hard to see. Notice in these two places, again, these are total cases recorded for Missouri. The blue is the actual, and the red is the model. So again, this is the best I could come up with. Both models that I've just showed you, and in fact all I've shown you, is about 12% absolute percent error. That means whatever the forecast is, plus or minus 12% of that. So my model says, yeah, still going to go up, and in fact may start shooting up again because, again, right here was the weekends. These were the weekends, and we shall see. We'll see for the next couple of days. So there you have it, people. Missouri, we're still going up. Not quite sure how far up, but there's the models, and I hope you have a great day. The most important thing is listen to the governor. Listen to Springfield. Listen to the civil alerts here. They say what? Stay home. Don't go out. The CDC has now recommended masks when you go out. I'm telling you, we can lick this if we behave correctly. All right? That's the most important thing. One person wrote in the newsletter that the virus is going to do whatever it can do. We don't have any control over it. That's total, absolute bullshit. The reality is our behavior is what will determine the outcome. Okay? How many people you come in contact with that have the virus will completely determine how it spreads. So again, stay safe, be good. This is Dr. C signing off here from Springfield, Missouri. Hope you have a great couple of days and be safe. That's all I could say. Do the right thing. Be safe. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. And don't forget to like. Please like my channel. Subscribe to it. I'm here for you. I'm the voice of Missouri. Okay? Don't listen to the politicians. Listen to me. Okay. Have a great day, everyone. Be good. Cheers.